So if f of x is equal with e in exponent x, then find the derivative of f of x. So first of all, to find this derivative, there are many ways, but let's use the definition of the derivatives. And definition of the derivative says f prime of x, this is derivative of x, which I can write d of f over dx, but I will write it with this denotation, is equal with the limit that h approaches 0 time, now we have here f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. But in our case, f of x, we have a ex, and this is going to be equal with a limit approaches limit h approaches 0, and now we have a e, this is f of x to us, and instead of the argument we are plugging in x plus h. Minus e in exponent x, everything here is divided by h. And now let's factorize here. According to the exponential, this expression we can write e in exponent x times e in exponent h, but to make a little shortcut, the ex is going to be factor for both these terms. Therefore we can find the ex as a common factor. But first let me write here the limit h approaches 0, and since we have a ex is a common factor, and inside is going to remain e in h minus 1 divided by h, and this we can write in this form. E in x goes in the front of the limit because it doesn't depend on the x of this limit. Limit h goes to 0, and here we have a e in h minus 1 over h. Now if we are applying 0 instead of the h, e in a 0 is 1, 1 minus 1 is a 0, and here we apply in h is in 0, 0 divided by 0, this is an undetermined form of the limits, which we can use the L'Hopital rule, and we can write e in x. If we are applying L'Hopital rule, because we are applying L'Hopital rule, let me write 1h here, because we are applying this rule, and is a limit h approaches infinity, and according to the L'Hopital rule, if we take in derivative of h, e in h minus 1 is just e in h, so this is e in h in exponent h, and derivative of h is just 1, and this is going to be equal e in x, and when we are applying h in a 0 is going to be time e in a 0 over 1, and already e in a 0 is 1, So e in x is going to be time 1 over 1, which is equal to the e in x. So according to the definition of the derivatives, the derivative f of x, what is equal with the ex, is going to be equal with the ex. So we already proved this derivative.